The late Shah of Iran personally testing and flying the F-4 Phantom fighter jet in St. Louis before purchasing United States, 1970s. High-wire artist Philippe Petit walks between the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. Native Americans father and son from southeast Idaho, circa 1897. Long weekend camping in the 1974 Chevrolet Vega hatchback coupe. Young ladies sharing a laugh, circa 1910. Staged accident. Roald Amundsen and his team at the South Pole on December 14, 1911, after beating Robert Falcon Scott's British expedition to become the first to reach the pole. The Royal Air Force commemorates the 20th anniversary of the Battle of Britain, 1960. United States hostages departing an airplane on their return from Iran after being held for 444 days in January of 1981. Marilyn Monroe with a Royal Canadian Mounted Police in 1953. Bjork at age 11, circa 1977. Today's British King Charles III, in 1969, when he was crowned Prince of Wales at Caernarfon Castle, accompanied by his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, and his father, Prince Philip. Rommel inspects the fortifications on the beach that would soon become the Utah Landing Zone. Normandy, 1944. Barrel of Joy, 1946. Brewery workers pelt a fellow brewer with wood shavings as he sits in a barrel. This marks the transition from apprentice to professional cooper. Mothers of African American students at Glenfield Junior High School in Montclair, New Jersey, demand equality and quality education for their children. August 22nd. This image from 1955 displays co-stars Cary Grant and Grace Kelly on the set of To Catch a Thief filming a scene in the water. Indian soldiers burying fallen Pakistani soldiers according to Islamic rituals after Pakistan refused to accept their bodies. Kargil War, 1999. John Wayne at Harvard's Hasty Pudding Club. Man of the Year event, Cambridge, 1974. A former soldier turned beggar running alongside the coach of King George V, 1920. Arthur Steele's photograph titled Chauffeur's Feast, taken at Twickenham Rugby Stadium, London in 1976. Parade in celebration of Amelia Earhart being the first woman to fly the Atlantic. Wilmer Stoltz was the pilot of the Fokker Tri-Motor Friendship. Lewis Gordon was the flight mechanic and co-pilot. Amelia Earhart was a passenger. Raquel Welch dancing with soldiers during a Bob Hope USO show in Da Nang, Vietnam in 1967. Models Mary Hillam and Bob Smith dance on an empty stage to a toy orchestra. Central Park, New York City, 1958. Two flappers demonstrating the Charleston dance on a rooftop ledge of the Sherman Hotel in Chicago, 1926. Crowd of depositors gather in the rain outside Bank of United States after its failure, 1931. Dwight D. Eisenhower during his 1952 presidential campaign. Adolf Hitler next to Yugoslav Princess Olga. Geert Adriaans Boomgaard on his 100th birthday in 1888. He would go on to live another 10 years, passing away at the age of 110, and is generally accepted by scholars as the first validated supercentenarian on record. The very first telephone switchboard ever, 1877. Miss World 1986 finalists. Miners at the Serra Pelada gold mine in the state of Pará, Brazil in 1984. Cycling star George Brake of Crystal Palace Club tries to straighten a wheel during a London race, 1948. An unusual Halloween costume, circa 1910. Young disabled soldiers at the 4th London General Hospital, 1918. Boxer Jack Johnson, the first African-American world heavyweight champion, driving a Marion automobile. Washington, D.C., 1910. Physicist Shirley Ann Jackson in 1973. She is the first black woman to earn a doctorate from MIT. The city of Freiburg im Breisgau destroyed by bombing. Bank tellers working, 1936. United States soldier with a load of precious cargo, Vietnam, late 1960s to early 1970s. A young American boy examines radioactive samples from a chemistry set in 1950, wearing headphones connected to a Geiger counter sensitive enough to detect radiation from a wristwatch. 1941. Kids online for an afternoon movie. Two girls seem to have forgotten their hats. Beyoncé at prom. Sumo wrestler Kokinaya Ivan Markianovich Borishko, Japan, 1960. A Bailey electric car, powered by an Edison storage battery, photographed during its 1,000-mile endurance run in 1910. Japanese traders prepared for the arrival of Soviet soldiers on South Sakhalin, August 1945. Maori chief Tomika Temutu, between 1860 and 1879. Vacationing on Lake Calhoun, 1981. World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. Richard Nixon leaves the White House after resigning as President of the United States on August 9, 1974. A man guards his family from the cannibals during the Madras famine of 1877 at the time of British Raj, India. Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher, 1972. A street in Naples, Italy, decorated for the holiday, 1957. The Hindenburg airship during the opening of the Olympic Games, Berlin, 1936. Police run after the fans chasing the car carrying the Beatles from Buckingham Palace in London, 1965. Banquet of the Mutilated Faces, Paris, 1925. Man in car using a drive-in telephone on Route 40, north of Baltimore, Maryland, 1959. Grave of 3 German soldiers on the Havel River, Berlin, 1946. A couple in New York Harbor, model Anne Sainte Marie, Vogue, August, 1958. Miss France, 1920. Four people being hypnotized, 1840s, United States. Woman with a mobile phone, 1980s. Arab Christian Bedouin woman from the settled town of Kerak, 1898. Crowd on Disneyland's opening day, 1955. "16-year-old Gregory Peck, 1932. "1954. Lie detector being demonstrated by Dr. Fred Inbau, professor of criminal law at Northwestern University. Photo shows Dr. Inbau giving the test to pretty Betsy Palmer. Fallen Marines of the 2nd Division awaiting burial at the cemetery on Saipan, July 1944. "1960. Trafalgar Square. Thousands of people gathered in the square, and many went to the fountain to celebrate this new year, January 1st. Japanese defector Minoru Wada directs a United States Air Force raid on Japanese Army headquarters. Philippines, 1944. Marilyn Monroe as a child, 1930s. Jeffrey Epstein in his youth. Watertown Daily Times reporters Michael J. Green, left, and Larry Cole examine a towering snowbank on County Route 61 near Tylerville during the blizzard of 1977. Empire State Building before the city grew skyscrapers, 1930s. R. Lee Ermey when he was an actual drill instructor in 1966. Portrait of Stella Yellowshirt and Baby of the Dakota People, 1899. Harry Belafonte riding a bicycle with his daughter Sherry in 1957. Women enjoying drag. Art Nouveau traffic police post glass on Gagarin Street, Chernivtsi, Ukrainian SRUSSR 1971. Actor Harry Morgan stealing chicken from Colonel Sanders, 1967. Playing Dice for Money, London Wasteland, 1954. (1954) View of the Remington Rand calculating machine UNIVAC, Universal Automatic Computer, an early computer originally developed for the United States Census Bureau. Steve and Terry Irwin in 1992. A Cool Playground Jungle Gym, 1970s. (1961). Moscow crowd attacks the Belgian embassy after the death of Patrice Lumumba. A photo of disabled women archers participating in the Stoke Mandeville Games in 1948, which in turn helped lead to the creation of the modern Paralympic Games. Actress Michelle Yeoh flying over the Hollywood sign by helicopter and harness for a photo shot for National Geographic, 1998. September 1966. 2.5-year-old Portia Forte, youngest daughter of restaurant magnate Charles Fort, kisses her little cousin Nicholas at the wedding of her older sister Olga at St. Mary's Church in Hampstead, London. 3 children dressed up for trick-or-treating circa 1925. Fidel Castro, Overseas Press Club in New York City, 1959. President Roosevelt talks to Renee Daly from Spring Valley, New York, and Jerry Gould from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Roosevelt was the guest of honor at a luncheon given at the Warm Springs Foundation. Michael Jordan plays basketball with a paralyzed boy in a wheelchair, 1987. Attack on Pearl Harbor, 1941. Japanese women undergo military training at a Tokyo textile factory, 1941. A Waif and Her Rabbit, London, 1890. Teen members of the Joker's Gang on 17th Street and 8th Avenue, Brooklyn, 1959. Chinese border guards joyfully display a punctured Soviet border guard helmet, Damansky Island, March 17, 1969. A column of the All-Union Parachute Sports section on Red Square on May 1, 1958. Cemetery Chaos, Glasgow, 1948. A smiling Hitler with happy children. Sioux Falls, South Dakota used to have bison-drawn carriages in 1900. Photo of the devastating aftermath of James Dean's crash. James Cameron on the set of Titanic, 1997. Nabayo Mask Ganeskidi, god of harvest. Detroit riots, 1967. A guy and two girls in funny poses. A restaurant that serves only whites. Robert F. Kennedy surrounded by children in East Harlem, New York City in 1967. A United States Army chaplain helps an old Vietnamese lady to safety in the heat of the Tet Offensive, Vietnam, 1968. Fidel Castro in the United States, 1959. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City, 1920s. John and Jacqueline Kennedy's wedding. Mother Teresa releasing Peace Dove. Artist Stan Lee and the band Kiss. Patricia Arquette and David Lynch on the set of Lost Highway, 1997. A young punk couple strolls through New York City wearing Misfits t-shirts, 1981. Chief Joseph, 1840 to September 21st, 1904, whose real name was Hinmaton Yalaktid, was the chief of the Nez Perce Native Americans, a tribe that lived in what is now the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Hiroshima before and after the nuclear bomb was dropped, Japan, 1945. Robin Williams with Friends, 1983. A 1912 shot of a woman plugging in her electric car. Well Heeled by Arthur Steele, 1973. Marie Devereaux posing as a simple village girl for Brides of Dracula in 1960. Elizabeth Taylor and Conrad Hilton's wedding. Karen Carpenter, circa 1971. Screaming Beatles fans watched the band perform live in 1964. Mother and Child, Canada, late 19th century. November 19, 1863, Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address.